Today's session is going to be on Excel, but very basic things about Excel we will learn which help us to quickly work and improve our productivity in day-to-day lives. So we'll have a short session, we'll have only 3 or 4 tricks which will be worth knowing for a quick productivity experience. So let's get right into the show. You can unmute yourselves, stop me, ask questions whenever you feel like, because we are a small group today, and you can stop me whenever you feel we are okay. So I'll just share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Owen. Nice to see you after a while.
Yes. Yeah. I've had lots of problems on Fridays, buildings, grandchildren, and so on. So I do.
Okay. So the first thing we will look at is how to convert text into columns. Many times we receive material like this. Say an address list comes like this to us in a CSV format, or what is called as a comma separated variables format. So all these variables are separated by a comma, but this is an address 23, Silver Heaven, AB Road, Mumbai 54. Now many times we might need to split this into columns, and the easiest way to do it is we go to wherever we want to convert this into columns, go to data, there is something called text to columns. Okay, so what we will do is we'll have to first select the data. You can just select this column because everything is in this A column only. You can say text to columns. Now what are the options that we have? One is the option, there are two options. One is choose the file type that best describes your data. So it can be delimited or it can be fixed width. Fixed width means every field is a fixed width. This is 2 characters, this is 10 characters, this is 10 characters, etc., etc. But we don't have fixed width. So we have something called a delimited column. But delimited, that means characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. So we say it is a delimited data. You say next. Now how is it delimited? Either by a tab or by a comma or by a semicolon. Now when I select comma, you see what happens to the data. All the columns are properly set based on the commas wherever they are. Okay, and then I can just say next. Data format, whatever the format, everything is taken as general, so I say okay. And where is the destination? So destination, I can say, can select this, say destination is here, F6. Okay, so now it says destination F6 and I say finish. Now all my fields are in separate columns. Okay, I'm just readjusting the sizes of the columns. Are you seeing the difference between this and this? Everything was in cell A6 out here. If you see the cell, everything was in one cell. Now here everything is in a different cell. This, and this, and everything was separated by a comma. And therefore we can convert text to columns in a very, very simple operation. Or even if you want to make it better still, maybe I'll just delete this, come back again, select these, say text to columns, delimited, next, comma, next, and I will take the destination as $A$6 only. So I say finish and everything comes here. So I don't even need to hold on to the original data. Okay, it is very simple. Straight away you can convert the text to columns, and then you can use this in whichever way you want to use it. Are we getting this? Any questions here? I'll just Control Z, I'm back to original. What I will do is, after Mumbai, suppose I put a comma. So what will happen is, the Bombay number will go to the next field. They are very simple operation. I'll just put comma, and now if I say the same thing, text to columns, delimited, next separated by commas, next general, finish. Now see, the Bombay number also has come in a different field because we had put a comma after this. Earlier there was no comma. So it is able to identify wherever there is a comma, it is able to export that into a different cell or in a different column, and that is what this text to columns does. So where is it available? It is available in the data option. On the top, if you go to data, text to columns, select your data wherever your original data is, and then go through the steps whatever it shows us. Are we okay with this? Any questions? This is a very simple operation. Text to columns, delimited, separated by a comma, next, and finish. That's it, straight away. So this is the first thing that we are talking about. The second interesting thing is an automatic decimal point. Now this is also very interesting. Suppose you have to enter so much data with decimal points. Suppose you have 67.89, 87.65, whatever. So you know that we are all lazy people. So we don't like to put the decimal point. Every time, why I should put a decimal point? I should just say that the last two digits are decimal point. That's all that I will say. So I don't have to actually type the decimal point. So if we have a large amount of data, of course here we have 3-4 cells only. So here we have entered some data with a decimal point. But now if I want to say that I don't want to press the decimal point, and I will just press 8967 without the decimal point, and it will actually put the decimal point at the right place. So how do I do that? Now this is a very simple operation. You go to file, you go to options. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Options, advanced, and there is something called automatically insert a decimal point. If you see in advanced, automatically insert a decimal point, and I say OK. Now when I type, I am not going to type the decimal point. I am just saying 8967. See, what I am typing is 8967. But now what Excel will understand? 89.67. I am typing 3488. What will happen is automatically 567.56. So my data entry becomes much easier and faster. Are we getting this? Very simple. You can automatically insert a decimal point. You can decide how many characters you want the decimal point. You want 2 digits or 3 digits or whatever, depending on your type of data that you have. You can straight away. But always remember, you have to go back and disable it, because otherwise in anything that you do, you will get this automatic decimal point. So when you go here, advanced, automatically insert a decimal point, you have to disable it or enable it, and you can choose the number of decimal points, 3, 4, 5, whatever you have, depending on your data. We'll leave it at 2. If you remove it, then I type 8967, the decimal point doesn't come. Okay, so this is a very simple trick where you can automatically insert a decimal point at a place of your choice. It can be 2 decimals, 3 decimals, 4 decimals. Simple thing to do is go to File, Options, down below on the left, Advanced, and automatically insert a decimal point. It's as simple as that. Okay, so inserting a decimal point automatically is very useful when you have large amounts of data. You are going to enter lots of data, and you can save. 1 dot means 1/5, so 20% time you are saving just by missing out 1 dot. Okay, so that is the second brief trick. These are all small tricks. Now we come to a big one, and that is on pivot tables. How many people have been using pivot tables regularly? Any yeses, nos? Advanced or simple pivot tables?
Yes, they are. I don't understand them. It's purely hit and miss. It's one of my blind spots. So whatever you teach today,
Okay.
okay.
So the question,
100% improvement.
the question was asked, what if the cell is not formatted as a number? Obviously, then it will ignore the decimal point issue. Only if the cell is formatted as a number, that will be. Now, if you use large amounts of data in Excel, pivot tables is something which you cannot do without. Let us see what pivot tables do. I have taken one small sheet. Okay, everybody can see this sheet. It is a table where you have the date, you have the sales representative, you have a zone, you have product, and you have the sales value. Okay, so a very simple table. Okay, now once you look at pivot tables, you will realize why, and you will kick yourself and wonder why you did not use pivot tables for so long. So this is a large database. Let me see how many rows and columns we have. We have some 1,000 rows. Okay, I've just replicated the data. I have not typed it out. Okay, now I have a large amount of data, and now of course I have to analyze it. Obviously I can't make any head or tail of this data. Okay, so how do I'll just say Control Home to come back to the original. Okay, so if you have not used pivot tables, you will enjoy this. You be anywhere within the table. Okay, I am somewhere in between, within the table, anywhere in the table, absolutely no issue. You go to Insert, that is the first thing. This is real magic. If you understand this, then you are a pro at Excel. Insert, okay, and there is the first option is called pivot table. Okay, so I say insert a pivot table. What is the selected range? The range automatically it has sensed that you are in sheet 1 from A3 to E1000. You know, E was the last column and 1000 was the last row. Okay, so automatically it has sensed that you are in this table. So this is again a very, very intelligent way of working. Excel knows what you are talking about. When you say insert a pivot table, it knows that you are working on a certain data, and the data is automatically looked up by it. If you want to change this, you can always change it. You can just click on this and say, no, I don't want it up to 10,000. I want it only up to XYZ, whatever, up to E17 or anything. But for the time being, we keep it at E1000. So these are 1000 rows. Choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. So for the time being, I will say I will go to a new worksheet and say OK. Now what happened is, it has gone to a new worksheet. If you see down below, it is sheet 2. The original data was in sheet 1. So it has come to sheet 2 and it is showing me a blank pivot table. And on the right, it is prompting me, now what do you want to look at it as? So suppose I say I want to see in the rows, I want the products and I want the sales figure to come as values. So product wise, can you see the totals? Isn't this fantastic? You just selected what you want to see and you saw it. That's it. So what did you do? You said insert pivot tables, and once you inserted the pivot tables, I said rows mein what do you want to see? You want to see the product, and values mein you want to see the sum of sales. It's as simple as that. Okay, I'll just remove the decimal points so that it doesn't become Are we clear on this? The minute you come to pivot tables, Arey Baba, but boss is saying no, I want to see it not product wise, but I want to see it zone wise. So I just drag the zone into the rows. Now I am seeing it zone wise. The whole table is manipulated in a jiffy. Absolutely no issue at all. Can you see this? Now the boss is little greedy. Boss, itna sab karte ho. Chalo. I want it zone wise, sales representative wise. So I'll select sales representative. So now within each zone, I have the sales reps and I have the totals. Can you see how easy it is to manipulate your data? Now within this, he says about sales rep wise, and then now I want product wise also. So I'll select product also. So now zone wise, sales representative wise and product wise, I have my entire analysis done. Okay, now I can just click here, I can collapse or I can expand. Are we getting this? This is so beautiful. It's very, very simple, but very, very useful. So the entire data that we had of 1,000 rows, we are getting it compact into this, and it's absolutely very, very simple also. Now I don't want it zone wise or product wise. I want it only zone wise, but I want it date wise. So I just drag the date out here. So I get my data values, why did it go off? Values is sales. So I get it zone wise and date wise. Now again date wise it gives me quarter wise. In quarter wise it gives me Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. All the totals are taken automatically. This is really very powerful. Are we getting the basic thing? Or you want me to do it once again? I can collapse the column, rows, I can expand the rows, whichever way I want to do it. Okay? Now somebody comes and says, nahin, aisa to ye to easy hai. This is very easy. Chalo, date nikalo. I don't want date. I want sales. What had we chosen? It is zone wise, quarter wise. No, I don't want quarter wise, etc. I don't want years and all. So zone wise, but then I want zone wise and sales rep wise, but now I want the sales rep to come in the column. Arey So now I am seeing zone in this rows, and in the columns I am seeing my sales reps and I am seeing the totals. Okay, now see how powerful this is and how simple it is. It's extremely simple. Now instead of saying sum of sales, I want to see the performance of each of my reps. So I'll go here, I'll say value field settings, and I say I don't want the sum, I want to see the average sales of each person. Okay, average sales of each person in each zone. Very simple. I don't want to see the average sales, I'll say I want to see the count, how many sales they have done. Okay, these are the counts that are there. See how easy and how simple it is to analyze your data. Let me again go to say sum. Now I can even include filters. So I can say I want to use a sales representative as a filter. So just now it is all. I want to take only Chanda and Mazhar sales. Chanda and Mazhar. Okay, so you got the sales for these two people. They are both in the south zone. But suppose I say I want Dilip also. I don't want these two guys, Raju. Okay, so one is in the east zone, one is in the west zone. So these are my total sales. Okay, so this is how you can even select, and then if you say all, you will see all, and again you want to put sales rep in the column, you come back to this. Are we clear on this, or you want me to go through it once more?
Much clearer, thank you.
Yeah, it's a very, very simple operation. And everybody gets scared of pivot tables. When you mention pivot tables, they think that it is a very high-tech, these techies, they are all very smart. They don't want you to feel that it is all simple. So I'll just delete this entire sheet, come back to the original. So what we did, I am anywhere in the table, I can be anywhere in the table. I'll just say insert pivot table. The range is automatically selected. Choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. I can say I want to put it here only in the existing worksheet. Okay, so in the existing worksheet, where do you want to place it? You want to place it here. Okay. Okay, so now you can do all that other jazzy stuff, sales rep wise and all that, in this current table only, just next to your original data. So you can have it in the same table, you can go to a different sheet. Okay, because if you go to a different sheet, you will get little more space so you can see what is happening. But otherwise it is very simple. Close this, I'll just delete all this. And also remember one thing. Okay, let's go through this again. Insert pivot table, new worksheet, range is already selected. I come here, I say zone wise, I want sales. Okay, I'll just expand this so that we can see it better. And within zone, I want product wise. Okay, this is so simple. You just drag and drop, no calculations to be done, no formulas to be placed, nothing you are doing. Okay, and suppose
Yes. How did you go from sum of sales to count of sales?
sum of sales, you just click here, value field settings, and then you decide what you want.
Okay, yeah.
Count, average, maximum, minimum, whatever, product, standard deviation, etc., etc. It's a whole lot of stuff.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so it is very simple. You just click here, value field settings, and decide what you want, sum or count or average. Excel does all the hard work for you. Now the best part of this whole thing is that this is also dynamic, in the sense if something changes in this sheet, it will have an effect here. Only thing what you have to do is you have to go to data, and there is something called refresh all or control alt F5. If you say refresh all the calculations will be done again. Okay, that's the only one more step you have to take. So if the grand total is this, and if I go to sheet 1 and put a huge figure, you should be able to see the difference, correct? Go here, just now there is no change, just go to data and say refresh all. Now the entire thing has changed. 1 minute, I'll just again remove the decimals so that it becomes easy to read. Now you see that 500,000 we put in toilet soap out here in Chanda South, so that has come out here in South in toilet soap, that is reflecting, and South total is here. You can just collapse it. Very useful and very powerful. Any questions here? This is something which you must be doing on every day. If you are handling large amounts of data and you want summaries, it is very simple to manipulate the data without writing any formula. Excel does all the hard work for you. Okay? But most important in all these cases, wherever you want Excel to be intelligent, you also need to be intelligent. In the sense, your data has to be contiguous. There should be no gaps. Otherwise, he will feel very uncomfortable and confused. So there should be no gaps either in the rows or in the columns. So it has to be contiguous data. That is very important. The minute you put something different or give a gap, then you are gone. So that is the most important thing that you must understand as far as pivot tables are concerned. So now you can go and show off to all your friends how well you know pivot tables. It's absolutely simple, right? Just say insert pivot tables, and there you have it. And just put some normal figure here. Go back here, see what happens. I go to data, I say refresh all. Okay, now it is looking normal. Okay, any questions?
Yasdi,
Yeah.
is it if your file is not confidential, is it possible, because for example, I'm retired, I don't handle data, just to practice, is it possible to send it out?
No, I didn't get your question. You mean you want to send this to somebody else?
No. Would it be possible to send it to your students, us, so we could practice with it? Because it's quite a large file.
Oh yeah. Okay, what I did actually, I also didn't sit and type the whole thing. I entered about 15-20 and I just repeated them. So it's very easy to, this is no real data. I can share it with you also. That's okay. I can send you an email and just to practice. You want the file to be practiced upon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can use this file, or you can create one of your own. You can create whatever you want to do. You can say zone, you can say country, you can say region, whatever. And automatically the whole thing will, I can send it to you. Okay.
Thank you.
So are we clear on this pivot tables? Very simple.
I'll be clear after I've practiced.
Everyone has to practice. That is by default, and that is what I declare in the beginning itself. Practice, practice, and practice. Absolutely no option there. But once you practice and once you understand how the whole thing works, then your life is much, much simpler. Okay, great. Now, only one other thing I wanted to share with you just now. For that, I will have to share my screen again. 1 second. Okay, now you can see my screen again.
Yes.
Yeah, we are in sheet 4. Okay, so now suppose there are lots of times when we get data, or rather we get reports, etc., which are in PDF format, right? And when we get data in PDF format, it becomes very difficult to extract the tables from there. So it might be a long document, 30, 40, 50 page document. There might be 2-3 tables within that document. Okay, and how do I capture that information? You got the problem? I've got text and tables all embedded in one PDF file, and I want to make it into an Excel file where I can work on the data or I can update the data. Okay, so Excel gives you very easy way to import the data. Now this is very useful, again at the same time very rarely used. Can you import the table in a PDF file into Excel? That is the question. Yeah, easy. Come on, you'll have to tell me whether it's easy or not, or how easy we can make it.
Not,
Okay, so
not to my knowledge. No, not easy.
not easy. Okay, so you are in the Home tab, you come to Data tab, and there is something called Get Data. That is the first option. Okay, so what it says is easily discover, connect and combine data from multiple sources, then shape and refine it to meet your needs. That is what it is, giving you a little lengthy description, but it's very easy. It's very difficult, I know. So I just click on Get Data, and there are hazard options here. There is something called Power Query, etc., etc. I am not worried about all those. I just say from file and from PDF. Which type of file you want to import data from? You want to take it from a PDF file. Are you seeing my screen now? My file system?
Yep.
So I have something, I will use my granddaughter's report card. Okay, and I just say import. When I say import on that PDF file, it analyzes the entire PDF file and it finds how many tables are there in this PDF file. So it is giving me the scores at some point. So it just shows me all the scores. I say load, and the data is in Excel format. Magic. How simple is it? Are we clear? All these are cells. The scores are cells. Each one is a different cell. It was in a PDF file, remember. What we did is, we just said data, get data from file, from PDF, and that's all. Import data from a PDF document. It showed me all the datas, all the tables that were in that PDF file. I am again going to that report card. Okay, I just say import. There are many options here, but I am just showing you the basics so you know what you want to So for example, there is one table which doesn't have the scores, there's another table which has the scores, there's a third table which has some scores. I just say load. Okay, so it loads onto a different sheet. See, the earlier sheet was down below. This is a different sheet and all the scores are right away. Each item is in a different cell. It is analyzing the entire PDF file and importing it and giving it to you as a table. Now you can work on it. Now you can format it, you can change the figures, you can do whatever. This is again very useful. If you get data in PDF format, automatically import it directly into an Excel file. Extremely useful, but very easy to handle. The best part of this is, if you get the same PDF file as a report, say it's a monthly report or a weekly report, you get the same PDF file again and again. You can even go to refresh data and the same file in the same location automatically will be refreshed out here. So you don't have to do anything. Older Excel versions don't have this option. Sorry, but if you want the latest in intelligence, then you have to have the latest in software. This is a very useful thing and extremely easy. You see how easy it is? Let me try once more. Data, get data from file, from PDF. Straight away I'll select something else. Let us see what I want to. Innovation in retail banking. There is a huge report. This is an 89-page report. Okay, so there are some tables, there is some, I'll just say import. Let me see what happens here. It's a huge report. That report card was only a 1-page document. This is a 89-page document. Now you can see how Excel has analyzed all the 89 pages and given me some options. Maybe the table of contents is 1. I'll say load. It takes a little time because the document is large, but see now how neatly the whole table of contents is given to me as an Excel file. Can you see how easy it is?
Can we import from a Word file?
You can import from a PDF file. From a Word file, if there is a table, you can just copy and paste. It's very simple. From a PDF file, if you do copy and paste, it will be haywire. You know, all the fields and everything will go haywire. But if you have a table in a Word file, it is very simple. There you just copy the table and paste it here. So there you don't have to import. You don't need to import rather, because it is from the same office. See, when you say get data, you have all these options, of course, from PDF, from workbook. So if it is from another workbook also you can import, but there also you can do a straight copy and paste. If it is a text file with CSV, we saw the CSV, import data from a comma separated value file, from an XML file, from a JSON file, from PDF. Another interesting thing here, and that is the last thing that we will do today, because today we have done some heavy stuff. So to remember all this is also going to be a little bit of a challenge because you're doing it for the first time. Another interesting thing that you can do here, and that is, now see this carefully. I can say get data from file from a folder. Now I'll explain to you what I mean. Now suppose I have a folder out here. Just one second. In my Can you see my file system?
Yes.
So I have a download and I have a sample data folder. Okay. Now here I have created some sheets. Now see, this is very interesting, very useful and very powerful. So I have got sales data. There is a folder called sales. It is in downloads, sample data, sales, and sales I have got for 2018. I have just condensed it. You can have any number of files here: Jan, Feb, March, etc. Jan to June, July to December. Okay, so there are two files here. I have a 2019 folder where I have only one file. Okay, so what I have is 2018 and 2019 data. I can have any number of files here. It can be, all should be Excel files, of course. Okay, so this is how my data is laid out. Okay, I have a sales folder, and within sales I have year-wise sales, and within year-wise I have individual Excel files. Are we clear on what data I am holding? Fine. Now I say get data. Now see, this is again very useful. From file, from folder I will say. Okay, now see, this is again, so which folder you want? So I say I have one downloads folder in which I have my sample data and I have sales folder. Okay, I have come back to the same folder. I say open. So it shows me all the files in that folder. 2018 I had 2 files and 2019 I had 1 file, and it shows me the folder path also. If I go here, it shows me Dropbox, my PC, laptop, downloads, etc, etc. Okay, I just say combine and load the data. Now all the 3 files will be combined and shown to me as one sheet. I'll say OK, and there I go. Wow, you see from which file it is coming, what is the date, what is the sales rep, what is the zone, what is the product, what is the sales, and it is combining 2018 data and 2019 data. So all this is 2018, then I have 2019. Very simple. Now it is picking up data from multiple files within a folder and multiple folders within that folder also. So this again is extremely powerful, because if you have organized your files and folders well enough, it becomes very useful. 2018 and 2019. So now what data I should have? Here I go to the date field and I say select 2018 or 19 or all. Okay, so I have got here, it shows me that I have got 2018 and 2019 data. Are we clear on this? Simple? Extremely simple. Just what did I do? I went to data. I said get data from file, but from folder. Instead of from PDF, earlier we chose from PDF. Now we are saying from folder, and then you just select the folder and that's it. It's extremely simple. Now see the beauty of this further. Now I've got 2018 and 2019 data in this, correct? I'll just go one step up. Now I get new 2020 data, so I'll just move this into this folder. So now my sales folder has what? 2018, 19 and 20, right?
Yes.
Now what will happen? Automatically you just go to data, refresh all. Now I got 2020 also in this. Can you imagine how powerful this is? Now 2020, I have all the months and everything is available here. How simple is this? Managing large amounts of data is extremely simple. You have the option to get the data. Of course, the other things are there from text, from web, from table range, etc. etc. But this get data from file, we were looking at only PDF and from folder. And whenever you add stuff in that folder, if you add a file or if you add another folder in that folder, automatically that data also gets aggregated, and it is extremely powerful. Okay, so these are some of the simple tricks. Actually, I'm not writing any formula, I'm not doing anything. I'm just showing you basic options where I'm just selecting the options and grabbing the data. So it's as simple as that. If you have any questions, don't ask me very tough questions, huh, Owen?
When have I ever asked you tough questions? No, it's very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, so what Excel does is there is some element of intelligence which is built into Excel, which helps us grab the data instantly. Again, the only constraint is that your data has to be contiguous, that means continuous, in the same format. Obviously, all your files would have to be in the same format, otherwise it is very difficult to grab the data and assemble it. So it has to be in the same format, the field names should be same, it has to be contiguous, there should be no gaps between the various columns and rows, and you can get it in a jiffy. Now after grabbing the data, if you want to do that sort of a thing, when you say insert, pivot table, all this is still available. So you can just say you want this table, you say new worksheet, do all that other stuff, you can still do it, sales rep wise, sales, etc. etc. Okay, so you can imagine how much time and effort you save by using these basic tools. Just grab the data, combine it, organize it, pick it up from PDF, pick it up from folder, assemble it, analyze it. I think we'll stop here. Any questions we can take? I'm showing you very basic things. Then there are so many other options within these, but these are like you can go and move the pivot table, you can select certain things, you can change the data source, insert timelines, insert a slicer, and all sorts of things you can do. Insert a slicer. So if I say I want to put a slicer for zone, so then all my zones are listed here. Okay, I can just resize it and that's it. Now I want only south zone, so I will see only south zone. I want only east zone, I see only east zone. I want only west zone. Are you getting this?
Yes, yes.
It's extremely simple. Okay, so a slicer, again let's go through this. This is also an interesting part of this. Where were we? We were in the pivot table. Okay, you are already in a pivot table, so then there is no. Where did we see the slicer? Insert a slicer. It jumped out. If you remember, we did this add-ins also some time back, which was again another useful thing. very easy to handle. All these things are extremely easy to handle. Once you work on them and start using them on a day-to-day basis, you will be a pro at this. So what did we learn today? One was the convert text to columns, then the decimal point, auto decimal point, and then pivot tables where we could analyze large amounts of data. Yeah, here there is a slicer here. Yeah, somebody guided me. It is an insert. So when you say insert slicer, you can select whatever. Now these are the fields that you have. So if I say product is my slicer, then I'll get a small menu with all my products. Okay, I can place it anywhere, and then I can just click on one of them. I want only hair cream sales for each representative, so I am getting all the hair cream sales. I want only oil sales for each of the representatives. It looks easy. It is easy actually, but okay, if you forget it, then obviously you have my video always there. You know where I am going and what I am doing, so you don't have to worry about this. When you say insert slicer, what you are actually doing is you are inserting a filter, but without the filter being visible here. Otherwise, normally everything is in a filter. The slicer is no filter, so you are seeing everything. If you want a filter, you say only hair cream, only oil, only toilet soap, only toothpaste. You can do it very easily. Okay, so hopefully I have recorded today's session. Are we recording? Yeah. Yes. Videos of these sessions, they are not available because these are only for subscribers. So in case you need any video which we have done in the exclusive club class, you can always write to me and I will send you the video directly. It is not available as on our YouTube channel in the general channel. Yes, all videos of all, unless I forget to record it, then it is gone. But otherwise, all videos of all channels, all our stuff that we do, we can share it with you. So I think we are done for today. Let's gather together. Next time we are going to see some other productivity apps, and we can play around with certain apps which will improve our productivity as usual. So thank you all very much for being a very patient audience, and
Thank
good
you.
night. Take care. Stay protected. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.